All right, so now we're going to head on over across the pond to London, where Roxana Saberi is standing by for us. Roxana, you have been keeping an eye on a number of stories, including right there where you are, the very latest on Julian Assange. We have not heard much from him. He's been in custody, I think, in the UK since, what, 2019?
That's right, Anne-Marie. Well, this morning, a judge rejected a request to send Julian Assange to the U.S. to face charges of espionage. The U.S. government accuses the Wikileaks founder of releasing secret military and diplomatic documents. But the British judge said today extradition would be oppressive to Assange's mental health and would likely lead him to commit suicide. A ruling in favor of his extradition could have paved the way for him to go on trial in the U.S., where he could be sentenced to up to 175 years in prison. His supporters say he exposed U.S. wrongdoing in the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. But the U.S. government says Assange put lives at risk and is now vowing to appeal today's decision. Next, we go to Norway, where rescuers have found a seventh body after a devastating landslide last week. A torrent of mud destroyed dozens of homes in a village as many people were sleeping. At least 5 victims have been identified, including a man and his 2-year-old daughter. Rescuers have been using helicopters, drones, sniffer dogs, and heat-seeking cameras. They're battling freezing temperatures, unstable ground, and a shortage of daylight. Still, a police spokesman says they hope to find survivors. 3 people remain missing. Now on to South Korea. For the first time, the country has recorded more deaths than births, raising alarm because the nation already has the world's lowest birth rate. Around 275,000 babies were born last year. That's about 30,000 fewer than the number of people who died, and it's a record low. Most of South Korea's baby boomers are set to retire within a decade, and authorities worry that, coupled with the drop in population, pressure on healthcare and pension systems will rise, and the country will see labor shortages. They're offering financial support for families with newborns. But critics say the measures fail to address bigger problems like the high cost of education and housing, and the fact that a growing number of young women prefer not to marry or have kids. And in India, some experts are warning that the country's emergency approval of a locally produced coronavirus vaccine was rushed. Prime Minister Narendra Modi called this weekend's approval a game changer, but several scientists and opposition politicians say trials have not been completed, and the government hasn't shared the data on the effectiveness of the vaccine. India has also approved the vaccine produced by Oxford and AstraZeneca. That is set to be the country's lead vaccine. And Anne-Marie, India has recorded the second highest number of COVID infections in the world after the U.S.
Wow, some sobering numbers. Roxana, thank you so much.